All right. Okay. Okay, let us begin. All right. So let's give it a moment for the others to join first before we begin. All right. Hey, hi there, Xion Onyen Nini. Hey, hi there. Okay, let us begin. So yeah, welcome to another IronFX exclusive webinar. So let me just swap this. All right. So yeah, today will be the live trading analysis session. So I just got to read through the disclaimer first before I begin. The information in this webinar should not be considered investment advice or an investment recommendation, but instead educational material only. So this material is just the personal opinion of the author, which is myself, and the client's investment objectives and risk tolerance have not been considered. IronFX is not responsible for any loss arising from any information contained. So redistribution of this material is strictly prohibited. Hey, hi there, Louis. Hi there, Tivin. Okay, let me turn on the chat so you guys can talk there. Okay, setting things up. Hello, guys. Okay, I opened the chat already. So yeah, it's already Thursday. Just letting you guys know, already Thursday. Yesterday, we had the FOMC meeting. So they were actually supposed to release the 50 basis points, but hey, hi there. But they eventually released it at 25 basis points. So it's supposed to be pretty hawkish for the United States dollar. Hey, hi there, listening. Nice. That's great. Where are you guys from? I'm from Singapore, by the way. Okay, maybe I should do... Oh, Kenya, you're from Kenya, Nigeria. Wow, nice. Okay, that's very far away across the entire equator. Okay, maybe I should go through I'll go through a quick recap on last week, the news that happened last week. So last week, we actually had the flash services PMI and the advanced GDP and the core PCE price index release. So the US flash services PMI, I'll just show it on trading on the Forex factory. So last week. So the flash services PMI, that's what I'll be talking about first. It was released last Tuesday. So it actually showed that businesses contracted in January, but there were signs of improvements and increased confidence. So businesses remain optimistic and anticipate stronger demand in the coming year. So we also have the advanced GDP release. So the advanced GDP saw a 2.1% growth in 2022, despite challenges like recession fears and high prices. So the job market remained strong and people were still very optimistic about the future. So last but not least, on Friday, there was actually the core PC price index that was released. It actually decreased, suggesting that high prices may be coming to an end. So additionally, the cost of food and energy also decreased, which is a sign that inflation is slowing down. All right. So yesterday, the FOMC meeting, Fed Powell also told the audience that they expected inflation to be heading downwards. So the government and Federal Reserve will continue to monitor and adjust for growth and stability. Okay, let's move on. So I'll be talking about the euro dollar first. Okay, let me get my chart out. Okay. All right, let's get things out. Okay, by the way, if you have any currency pairs that you want me to take a look at, feel free to let me know in the chat. Okay, let me clear this out. Okay, I'll start from the daily time frame first. So looking at the daily time frame, I'm actually going to use smart money concepts for my analysis. Hey, hi there, Janayat Nike. Okay, I'm going to use smart money concepts for my analysis if I actually draw a Fibonacci line from the top swing high of the daily chart right here to the bottom of the chart, the previous swing low. So drawing a very, very nice line, I will be using the magnet tool. So you can activate it right here. Wick magnet, connect it all the way down. And then I use my personal settings for the Fibonacci line. So you notice that price recently just tapped very nicely within the 50% Fibonacci line. So potentially, if this bullish momentum continues, we can expect price to head towards the golden Fibonacci line, which is the 61. Sorry for that. Heading towards the 61.8% Fibonacci line. So if I actually draw a line across, you actually notice that it's an overlap resistance. So I'll label it out. Overlap resistance level. Okay, so that's the next price target that we are looking at. And the number, the value is 1.12790. Okay. So next, let's move on towards the 4 hours chart. So I'm expecting a possible retest. Although it's very, very bullish, I'm expecting price to head back down to possibly retest this overlap support right there. So I'll just call it the first support line. It's the overlap support area. Why is it an overlap support? We have 1, 2, 3 touches confirming a support. Price can potentially head back down, tap into that area, and bounce right back up. So that is an area that I'm actually looking at. Okay, if I actually draw a Fibonacci line, just adding confluence to the trade idea, I'll be drawing the Fibonacci line from the recent swing low towards the current price. So drawing it out, you actually noticed that the overlap support is actually resting right at the 50% Fibonacci line. So it's very, very nice adding confluence to our trade idea. So this is the 50% Fibonacci line. Okay, expecting price to hit there. That is the near-term price that I'm thinking. So next, let's take a look at the 1 hour chart. Okay, just a quick look at that. We did not have much movement throughout this entire morning. So Asian session, let me mark it out. It's from 7 p.m. New York time to 12 p.m. New York time. So this is the Asian session. We did not see much movement going on. And then next, we actually had the London session. It's 2 a.m. New York time to 5 p.m. 5 a.m. New York time. So London session, everything is clearly marked out. So I can possibly, at this moment in time, possibly expect price to continue bearish downwards, likely to clear this low right here. That could be a near-term target that we are looking at. So this is the near-term target look at. All right, next, let's take a look at the one. Okay, I actually stay a lot on the 1 minute chart actually, so bear with me. So there was actually a trade set up earlier on that I actually took a look at. I was looking for buys actually, because price actually kind of tapped into this previous high right there. So if I draw a line across at this candle, that was my points of interest that I was looking at. So I put points of interest. That was the area that I was looking at very, very carefully earlier on. Points of interest. Price step into that area, and then I actually was looking to take a buy. Price went through a zigzag manner. So I'll draw it out nicely. Zigzag, zigzag. Before it formed a higher high. So price then retraced back down. And then that was the entry right there before causing price to continue moving bullish. So if I draw a line right there, you can see the market structure shift. Top right, everything is nicely in place. You can see exactly what I'm looking at. So I noticed that price actually retested this minor high right there on the 1 minute chart. So if I draw a line across, I'll call it an order block. So I'll put OB plus, maybe I'll just label it out. Bullish order block. And then price then shot right back up, reflecting off this order block. And then my next entry, I actually entered right here. That was my entry point at this previous candle high right there. So with my entry in place, let me type it out. This was the buy entry. So I was actually aiming for this high right here. Why was I aiming for this high? Because we actually had relative equal high. So this was the take profit target. So why was I aiming for take profit target right there? Because we actually have relative equal highs right there. So I took a long position, buy entry, price came back down, stop loss below this bullish order block, and I aimed for that liquidity hotspot. So it's roughly an 8 pip trade, but it's more than enough. So I'll label it out liquidity hotspot slash relative equal highs. So that's an area that I was looking at. Okay, let me draw a circle so you guys can see exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'll just screenshot this down and send it to the chat. Okay, so you do not have to screenshot it down. So any questions so far? Any questions so far you guys don't understand, let me know. Hey, hi there, Mujahid Rashid. Okay, so I was actually just going through the trade that I actually took earlier on during the London session. Okay, if you have any question, I just saw you raise your hand, Mujahid Rashid. I actually turned on the chat, so you can actually talk there. If you have any questions, let me know. Okay, I will just lower your hand for now. All right. So at this moment in time, I don't think there's any good trades going on. So having a quick look back at Forex Factory. So this week, hey, what's the date today? We actually have the unemployment claims coming up later on and the preliminary non-farm productivity, preliminary unit labor costs. So I don't expect the market to move much until 9:30 p.m. later on. That is my timing, so it's roughly in about 3 hours time. Hey, Mujahid, Rashid, you said you are new, you want to learn Forex. So have you ever traded before? Let me know. How's your trading experience? How long have you been trading? Okay. Let me move on towards the gold chart while I wait for your answer. Okay, I'll start off by looking at the weekly chart. So price is actually inching higher and higher towards the intermediate swing high, which I already marked out. So intermediate swing high is right here. The previous swing high is right up there. So I'll just label it out so you guys know the difference. So this is the previous swing high. So what's the number? Let me copy it down. Okay. Okay, next, let's take a look at the daily chart. Okay, there isn't much. Price is still very, very bullish. It actually shot up yesterday. So I'm expecting this bullish momentum to possibly continue towards the intermediate swing high at 1998.5. I'll move on towards the 4-hour chart. Hopefully, we can find some overlap support to see. So there's actually a previous high that could be a potential point of interest. Points of interest. Potentially, we can look for buys for price to hit back down, tap into that area, and on the smaller time frame, find your confirmation before longing towards the upside. But we actually do have an overlap support, which is right here. So notice that's actually 1, 2, 3 taps right there. So adding confluence to the trade idea, I'll be drawing a Fibonacci line from the previous swing low to the current price right there. So from the bottom towards the top, I enable all the Fibonacci. You actually notice that the 50% Fibonacci line is in place with the overlap support area. So just write it out, overlap support. That could be an area that we are looking at for buys. So let me just screenshot this down and send it to the chat. Okay, let me just pull it up higher. Copy link to the chart image. Okay, just send it to the chat so you guys do not have to actually screenshot it down. Okay. Next, let me move on towards the 1 hour time frame. Okay, let me clear this out. Clear it out, clear it out. All right. 15 minutes there. I don't think there's much I can take a look at. But on the hourly, zooming in right there, quite nice. We actually have quite a lot of liquidity building up. So potentially the near-term sales, we can potentially look for price to head back down, tap into this area right here, this liquidity hotspot, which is the relative equal lows. Okay, why is it relative equal lows? Because we have these 2 candles right here, relative equal lows. All right, next, let's move on. So moving on, okay, before I move on, I'll type 1 hour, liquidity hotspot, relative equal lows. So take a look at 15 minutes, nothing much that I can see. 15, there's also nothing that I can actually force. Okay, you've been trading for about a month. What trading strategy do you use? Okay, let me know what strategy do you use for your trades. Oh, okay. I meant what kind of trading style, what currency pairs do you trade? What currency pairs do you trade? Okay, maybe I'll move on towards the 5-minute chart or gold. Okay, you're pretty fast. Okay, gold is actually quite fast, quite a fast moving currency pair. Okay, let me check something. Give me a moment. Wait. You know. All right, let's go. XAU UAD. Oh, do you mean XAU USD? Okay, let me see. Okay. Let me move on towards the 5-minute chart. So you're actually looking at gold. Okay, gold actually headed back down. Okay, you're trying things. Gold actually headed back down. Tapped into this nice little order block right here, which is this previous high right there. Oh, you're just trying things, not really making anything. Okay, so we actually have an order block, pretty nice order block. Price actually tapped in and bounced right off. So order block right there. Okay, next I can actually move on towards the 1-minute chart. Okay, looking at the 1-minute chart, don't think there are any trades at the moment. Price is it just went up recently to clear out the previous high. Very, very tiny before price bounced back down. Okay. So you need some sort of help to make me trade good and make my own trades to actually make money. Well, you actually have to find a trading strategy first before you even start, wanting to trade profitably. So I've actually went through multiple trading strategies already. So I actually went through the typical triangle strategy, the retail patterns, drawing trend lines, trying to find some sort of breakouts before price moves to the upside. Those type of typical retail trading styles. So for me, I also went through something called Wyckoff, and take a look at that Wyckoff, and then I'm currently using Smart Money Concepts. Feel free to check it out. Smart Money Concepts is actually very, very useful. So if you notice so far, what's the difference? What's the difference with my charts? I actually don't use any indicators for my trades. I've been drawing everything out manually. No indicators at all. All right, you can actually start looking at all this on YouTube. Can search YouTube, Smart Money Concepts, can start learning from there. So I'm just showing you guys how to kind of, look at the 1-minute chart. So price has also recently broke the bearish, the descending channel. Okay, let me change the color. Red. Save as. Okay. So we can potentially continue to see price head down to clear out these relative equal lows right there. So it's the liquidity hotspots, relative equal lows. That could be an area that you are looking at. So just to have a quick recap, price actually tapped into this previous high right there, tapped in, and then it bounced. So right now with price clearing out the liquidity right there, liquidity hotspot relative equal highs, there's a reason why price rejected back down. So the relative equal highs are actually located right here. Relative equal lows are actually located right here. So we can potentially look for a short position somewhere there, stop loss above the high right there. and aim for the low. So it's roughly a 1-to-1 risk to reward trade. Likely we could possibly see that. Okay. So why would this trade be invalid? How would it be invalid? If price actually forms a higher high, it decides to break structure, break a high right there, and breaks one more time, can potentially see price continue heading bullish. So I do not recommend shorting, taking sells within a very, very bearish, a very bullish market. You're actually trading against the trend. So this is the supply, the points of interest that we are looking at. Okay. So let's theoretically say we had took the sell, price seems to be heading down. We might potentially see price clear out the relative equal lows. So do check out. Wait, let me send the link about myself to the chat first. Okay, if you want to find out more about me, you can actually check out this link right there. Just send it to the chat. Feel free to check it out. It's everything about myself. Okay, let's see if price really clears the area right there. It would be cool to see it happen live. Okay. Price is currently heading down. We are about roughly 10 pips away. So yeah, check out that link. It's actually quite a quick summary about myself, a quick portfolio about myself. Feel free to check it out. Okay. Let me move on. Open another trading view. Okay, so yeah, by the way, I'll be doing this webinar, the first half session. We actually have another analyst that will be taking over. So she's kind of new to the entire webinar experience thing. So please be gentle on her when you ask her some questions. So let me open up the chat. Okay. So yeah. So yeah, later 6:45 like that, I take over. Okay. So we actually have Sarah here, right here. So her name is Sarah. So she will be taking over for the next half. She'll be presenting her views on the markets.
Hi everyone, this is Sarah. So today I'm going to show you about my analysis on USD, AUD, USD first.
I am having some technical issues, so I will sort it out. Okay. In the daily writing. Refer here. Okay. All's good.
Okay, let's take a look at the first currency pair, AUD and USD. So let me remove all my drawing. Okay, for me, I like to look at the 4-hour chart. But before every time I look at 4-hour time frame chart, I will just like scale down a little bit to look at the overall how the price is going to move in more wider time frame. So as we can see now, the current price is now at the level around 4141. And there seems like an ascending trend line, but we are not so sure is that very strong trend line or not. Later we will try to prove it. So as the current price is about 14141, so maybe we draw the resistance level first. Okay, so as you can see, the first resistance level for me, I will draw it somewhere here. Let me scale up a little bit so that we can see clearly. So maybe I will draw somewhere at this price. Actually, we can see the price already broken through the first resistance line. So let's label it up as first resistance. So because the current price is already broken our first resistance, let's find another one, which is the second resistance. So actually we can put second resistance here, but it seems to be quite near and very near to the first resistance line. So we will find a next swing high, which is this point, which means our second resistance level is at price of 4322. Let's mark it up. Okay, so we already found our old resistance line. Let's find the support line. Okay, for this kind of graph, actually support line is a little bit hard to find because it seems to have quite different support level, like different people see different support level or support zones. For me, I would like to say the first support level, which is the recent swing low, I will put somewhere here. At the price of 3883. So if you want to put your second support level, you may also put your second support level at this price of 37700. So we are hoping the price is break the first support, first resistance and shooting up towards the second resistance, or in alternate scenario, it will go down and to touch the first support, or maybe break through the first support to heading towards the second support. Okay, so let's find just now we just now we are saying like, is there any trend line or not? So let's find it. Okay, draw from bottom to low. Is there a valid trend line? I'm not sure, so let's just draw a line, see. Is that touch? I don't think the trend line is very valid. Okay, so maybe we find is there any ascending channel? Let's adjust a little bit. Okay, so in my opinion, there is ascending channel. Okay, even though the current price, I mean the recent price has been broken the ascending channel, but the candle and the body of the candle is still within the ascending channel. So as we can see, there are touches here. There are touches here, here. This one almost touch. And you can see here, here, at this point, and also at this point. So as we can see, there are many touches for this ascending trend line. So it's more valid than the sorry, there are many touches in this ascending channels. So it's more valid than the trend line we just draw it. So let's remove it. Okay, so in this kind of after all the things analyzed, so I think USD, AUD USD will continue to go up. It will heading towards the second resistance to 4322. Okay, so that's all of my first analysis. So is there any questions? Okay, seems there is no questions. Now I may just proceed to my next currency, which the graph is almost similar to the first one, is Kiwi dollar. Okay, as we do analysis, we always notice that AUD and Australia and New Zealand dollar, they almost have the VS dollar, they always have the same shape. Okay, so most likely one is going up, another one is also going up. So let's take a look. Is that real or not? Are they correlated? Okay, so now let's look at the 4-hour time frame of Kiwi dollar. As we can see, now our price is at 0.65. So let's find a resistance line first. Okay, maybe resistance line here. Okay. Okay. Okay, so this is our first resistance line. As you can see, this is a quite key resistance lines. You can see there are many touches here. Let me find out my pen. You can see there are 1 touches, 2 touches, 3 touches, 4, 5. And this one seems the candlestick already like upon the resistance. But now it's going back to the first resistance. So you can see the price tending to moving around at this level or this price zone at 0.565158. So let me clear this one first. Okay, remember, the more touches it is, the more significant the key level it is, which means this level is very important. So once the price is breaking through a lot, it's tending to break the next resistance level. Okay, so if the price didn't break through, so maybe you will pay attention when you are trading at this level, so to see whether the price is going to up or down. So we can see this zone actually is really important. So we will highlight this zone when we're doing analysis. So once price has reaching this zone, so just pay attention to it. Okay. So because the current price seems like it may break the first resistance line, so we will find another one. Let's zoom in a little, zoom out a little bit. Okay, so this may be the next resistance lines, but I feel it is quite near. So most likely I will label it as intermediate resistance. So it's also important but not significant as the first resistance line is. Maybe I will find a more significant one, maybe somewhere here. Okay, so this may be the second resistance, as you can see. At this time frame, at this time around March 28th of March, the price seems to break through this line, but in the end, it did not break through. Okay, even though it breaks through a little bit, but in the end, it's like price is going down, going back. So this resistance seems to be more significant to the intermediate resistance. So maybe I will think about once the price has break through the intermediate resistance, the price will shoot up to the second resistance. Okay, other than the resistance, let's find out support line. Okay. Same as Aussie. So this Kiwi dollar also, the first support line, I will just find some place like this place. There are many touches here and is recent swing low. So this is our first support, and you can see the price is touched there, then bounce back, touch second time, then back. Then this is the third time. Now let's expand second support line. So second support line, I will most likely to find it somewhere at this, not really. Okay, maybe like this price. So maybe our second support line is at here. Okay, as you can see, our first support and resistance line is usually very near to the current price. And the second support and resistance line seems to be like have a certain distance away from the current price. So besides that, okay, most likely, most of time I would like to use indicator, which is Ichimoku cloud, to give me a more overall idea whether the price is going to up or down. Okay, if the current price is above the Ichimoku cloud, it seems like price is going to up, continue up. If the price now is below Ichimoku cloud, okay, the price seems to be continue to the bearish movement, which is going to down some more. But pay attention to the Ichimoku cloud, okay? What I like to see is a very clear Ichimoku cloud and clear price movement. It's not something like this part. Okay, like this part. I don't think the Ichimoku cloud will help me a lot because as we can see the price is moving within the cloud. Okay, it's in and out, in and out. So this one, the Ichimoku cloud is no longer valid anymore for me. So what I like to see is the part like this part. You see, the price is always above the Ichimoku cloud. So at this point of time, For me, the Ichimoku clock is not that useful. It's not that helpful for me to identify whether the price is going to up or down. But just now, as I mentioned it, Aussie and Kiwi dollar, they are correlated. So maybe Aussie dollar, our analysis is going up. So the Kiwi dollar most likely is going to up. Okay, so after that, let's ask when is there any ascending trend line or like any ascending channel. So let's find is there any ascending trend line. No. Okay, so let's draw here. Okay, this one can consider a quite good trend line. As we can see, there are many touches here. We can see there are one touches, this one not touch, but almost there. This one is nearly to sorry. This one is nearly to touch it, and this two already touch it. So it's have 3 or 4 point of touching. So this trend line is very significant. Okay, so since there is an ascending trend line, okay, and since there is no ascending channel because the price is moving up quite high. So my prediction is that the price is going to up. Okay, the price is going to moving within the first resistance and the ascending and the trend line that it forms is within this. Sorry, let me. So the price is going to moving within the first resistance and the trend line that the triangle it forms. Okay, so maybe the price will break through the first resistance and maybe shoot up to the second resistance. Okay, so every time after my analysis, I will always draw a Fibonacci to prove my like all my lines are significant enough, or is that valid enough? So most likely I use all Fib. Okay, as we can see, our first support is very nice. It's just in line with our 38.2% of Fibonacci retracement, which means this support is really very important. So let's just leave it here. Okay, so in hoping the price will break the first resistance level and heading towards the second resistance, heading towards the intermediate resistance first before it heading to the second resistance. Okay, let's take a look at the. Okay, so that's all of my analysis on Aussie and Kiwi dollars. Thanks for watching. Now I will pass back to my colleague Yongjin. Thank you.
All right. Hey, thank you, Sarah, for the analysis. So yeah, we have come to the end of this IronFX webinar. So it's the live analysis session. So we have the NFP coming up tomorrow. Today, we also have the news later on. Just now already mentioned quite a few news events, the unemployment claims, preliminary non-farm productivity, prelim unit labor costs, all this might cause volatility in the market together with the upcoming NFP. So I would advise you guys to stay out of the market until next week, until next Monday. So yeah, with no further questions, we would like to thank you guys for joining. So I'll see you guys next time. So yeah, take care. Stay safe trading. Try not to trade until next week. And goodbye.